Hello and welcome back to another predictions video. And we had the FA Cup last weekend. I don't really want to think about that, to be honest. Kind of kept away from everything Albion related in the last few days because it did really rattle me. I had to leave a lot of stuff out of that vlog. But it's a new weekend, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling, I wouldn't say good, but I'm feeling okay. So let's get into the predictions. Let's start off with the Friday night game. Burnley taking on Sunderland. The big clash of the weekend. Two teams up there at the high end of the table. Under Scott Parker, who have just grafted out result after result every week. They're also through in the FA Cup. Fair play to them. Reading did take them to extra time though. Sunderland seem to have all their eyes on the league now after getting knocked out by Stoke in the FA Cup. I don't think they'll be too gutted about that because, like I said, they're focused on the league. Saying that, I don't think they're going to get anything at Burnley because they're just so defensive and they're just a smart side. I think Scott Parker's got them set up too well at the minute. 2-0 Burnley. Next up, Cardiff taking on Swansea in the big South Wales derby. The South Wales derby. The two biggest clubs in Wales. Sorry, Wrexham fans. If are slightly picked up, but like I say, they're still in a relegation dogfight. And Swansea, they've dropped off a bit around the mid-table. They did get a point against the Albion last game. Got very lucky, to be honest. I'm not just saying that was sour grapes. I think Swans fans will agree as well that Albion were the better side. But like I said, 20-minute spell and Swansea managed to get a point out of that game. So with that in mind, I think that Cardiff are going to get a result just because they're at home. They're going to have it's an intimidating atmosphere. All the fans are going to be backing them. And yeah, I think it's going to be a goal fest though. I want to say 3-2 Cardiff. Next up is Millwall taking on Hull. Again, Sky should be ashamed of yourself. That is a long bloody trip. And fair play to all the Hull fans are making that journey. Millwall have never really took off this season, but I've never really been afraid of them like being in a relegation battle. They've just kind of been around that lower mid-table area, I guess. Hull on the other hand, yeah, they're in a dogfight down there. Not the season that Hull fans were expecting at all, especially as they nearly did sneak the playoffs last season. That in mind, though, this is the Championship. Anything can happen, and I think those Hull fans will be rewarded. Millwall 0, Hull City 1. Next up is Plymouth taking on QPR. A game which would have been a massive one for QPR down the bottom, but they've managed to pick up a fair bit of form and, get themselves out of that mess. Plymouth, on the other hand, they are in it. They are in it. Rock bottom of the league. Couldn't even beat Oxford at home midweek. No disrespect to Oxford, but they're the games that you got to be winning as Plymouth Argyle. Yeah, they're okay at home, but away they're pretty lacklustre. Saying that, they did beat Brentford in the FA Cup, which is just nuts. But we're back onto the Championship now. So, with everything in mind, and how Plymouth usually are, they are good at home, but they've got barely any wins all season. I think they've got about 4 wins all season, which is just, probably even less than that. It's like 3 or 4 wins. It's pretty depressing. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw here. I think that Argyle will get something. I don't think QPR won't be too disappointed with that either. Next up, Coventry City taking on Bristol City. The first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Now, Cov got through in the FA Cup. Personally, this is around the time of the season where Coventry pick up. Bristol, I thought they were abysmal when they came to the Hawthorns. Going to be dead honest, but they're picked up a bit and they're literally just outside the playoff places. 2 wins and 2 losses for the teams above them, and yeah, they're right in it, which is just nuts really, because I thought that they were awful. But fair play. Saying that, I've got to go with my head on this one. I think that Coventry are going to get a big win here, and this is going to kickstart a bit of form for them because it usually is around this time of the season that they do pick up. And I know that it's a little bit toxic around that club, but they've still got a lot of quality. And if they get if they get the car moving and you're in first gear and you're off, I'm sure that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th gear, and if you're in a flash car, maybe 6th gear might come out if there is a bloody 6th gear in your car. So yeah, Coventry City 3, Bristol City 0. Next up, Derby taking on Watford. Derby have slumped down there. Very much a home team, which I guess is going to benefit them in this game. But yeah, they've not been thrilling this season, really. I saw a bunch of Derby fans on the way back from Bristol, and they were just saying to us that it's depressing going away, but this is what we do as football fans. You know, fair play to them Derby fans we met. The team they're taking on, Watford, have been dreadful on the road, but very good at home. That's why they're around the playoff places. I did watch them in midweek, and they were okay. They weren't amazing. When I saw them play Albion at Watford, they played the dark arts to a treat, and yeah, fair play. I think they just about deserved the win. So that's why I guess they play so well at home. They're just used to the surroundings and stuff. But yeah, they always struggle away. And like I said, Derby being good at home, it's only going one way, this one. Derby 2, Watford 0. Next up is Luton Town taking on Preston North End. Now, Luton have been sucked into a dogfight down there. They seem really, really poor at the moment. Their manager's been sacked as well, Rob Edwards, who did so well for them in the past. Got them all the way to the Premier League. I know Luton Town in the Premier League, crazy considering they were a National League club not long ago. But yeah, the wheels are falling off, and the Brexit tactics that worked so well for them previously have been found out. The team they're taking on, Preston, they haven't been incredible. They've been pretty mediocre, to be fair. They're around that mid-table mark that we always see Preston in. They had a lot of draws, and I think they've got a couple of wins to, I guess, get a bit of cheer. Saying that, it's a classic Preston North End season, and this will be an interesting game. Obviously, Luton will want it a lot more than Preston because of where they are in the table. Saying that, I can't see them getting it done, to be honest. It's just the heads have dropped at that club. Luton won, Preston North End won. Next up, Oxford taking on Blackburn. Now, Oxford have picked up lately. They fell off a cliff, but now they're coming back up the cliff, I guess, and they're picking up a few points here and there, getting a couple of wins. Fair play to them, you know. Everyone wrote them off. I think they got a big win at Millwall as well, which I did not see coming, because the Den's a tough place to go. So fair play to them. And the team they're taking on, Blackburn, have been another one as well that have just kind of came out of nowhere, I guess. Having a really good season, to be fair. They're in the playoffs at the minute. They leapfrogged Middlesbrough and West Brom midweek with a big 3-0 win against Portsmouth. Andy Vyman, former Albion man as well, scoring the goals. He's been superb this season. They're just a very well-organised team with a great manager in John Eustace. And I've got a lot of respect for that. Saying that, I don't think they're going to win here. I think Oxford are going to have a lot of fight in them. They're not going to be a pushover because of what it's like down there in the dingy drop of the league around them relegation places. Because Oxford are in a dogfight, really. They are in that dogfight down the bottom. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Next up, Portsmouth taking on Middlesbrough. Now, Portsmouth have been all right, I guess. They're a lot better than they were at the start of the season, where they couldn't win for toffee. So fair play. Saying that, midweek wasn't the best for them, where they had a game which postponed, played again against Blackburn Rovers, lost 3-0. The game I've just mentioned with Andy Vyman scoring in. Didn't look good. Fair play to the Pompey fans who travelled, though. They took a fair amount, I'm pretty sure, for a midweek. That ain't a short trip. That's like a 5-hour trek. So, you know, respect to them fans for going out there. It's what we do. It's in our blood. And, you know, fair play. Middlesbrough, on the other hand, have been all right, decent, you know. I thought that after that win they got against us at the Hawthorns in October, that they were going to fly up the table, but they haven't. They've had a few banana skins along the way, and yeah, but still a top side. On their day, they can dismantle anyone. I think this will be their day. Portsmouth 1, Middlesbrough 4. Next up, Sheffield United taking on Norwich. Now, Sheffield have had a bit of a wobble, to be fair, but I'm pretty sure they got a result in their last game in the Prem. Got knocked out the FA Cup, saying that as well, by Cardiff. But yeah, they're much better at home, personally, I think. Another team similar to what I was saying about Blackburn, just very organised. They all know what they're doing. They've got an old school manager in Chrissy Wilder who knows that club like the back of his hand. The Norwich team they're taking on are very inconsistent. They seem like they fly at some points, and then they just go under the radar and slip back down. It's just a really weird season for them. And they're missing Borja Signs because he decided to act like an alpaca and spit at someone. What are you doing? And he's banned for, I think, 6 games. So yeah, just a stupid thing to do, really. I mean, don't spit at someone. If you're going to do something to cause someone harm, give them a smack. don't spit. It's just like grim. Yeah, that's my word of advice. Don't spit at someone, smack someone. I think that I'd prefer getting smacked than spat at, because I think that's just the lowest of the low, really, apart from weeing on someone. Anyways, I've gone way off topic here. Let's get on with the score prediction. Sheffield United 2, Norwich City 0. Next up is the final 3 o'clock game. It is the Albion as we take on Stoke, who kind of consider us a rivals. I personally, don't get me wrong, on the match day, I don't like Stoke. There is a bit of animosity there, but I wouldn't consider them rivals. They're just, they're a decent club. They've got good fans, I guess. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, they're not a rival. You're not Wolves. You're not Villa. You're not Birmingham. I'd even consider Walsall a bigger rival than Stoke. I know they haven't been playing with us in ages, but they're closer, aren't they, geographically? And but it's kind of Stoke's big day out. I don't want to sound really, really like an idiot, I'll say it, like a knob, because I'm not being a knob, but it is Stoke's big day out of the season. I think it's one of the shortest away trips, and I think, us Wolves are their 2 main rivals, really, if you're not counting Port Vale, I guess, but they never play Vale. But yeah, as Albion fans, I don't consider them a rival because we've got too many around us. But anyways, on to the game. Albion, just I want to do that and bite my fist because it's so frustrating going away from home at the minute. We just seem to, like with the Swansea game last minute, Joe Allen, smallest player on the pitch, was singing, warning him up, and then he nodded it in. It's just annoying watching Albion at the minute. And then Bournemouth as well. Don't get me started on that because I could go on for hours about how fuming that made me. Just because of the effort, really. Stoke, on the other hand, through in the FA Cup, they've lost their striker, just like we have, actually. I think something to mention. Josh Madge is out for a lengthy spell. I think he's going to be back around March, April time, from what the Express and Star was saying. But yes, Stoke City's Tom Callan, recalled from a loan. It's going to be an interesting game. 2 teams without their striker. What will happen here? I don't think it's going to be entertaining at all. But obviously, get the biased hat on. Get the positivity in here. I'm going to say 1-0 West Bromwich Albion. But this could go either way because Stoke always turn up at the Hawthorns for some stupid reason. And it annoys me. Anyways, final prediction of the match week is Leeds United taking on Sheffield Wednesday. A bit of a Yorkshire ding-dang-do derby. Leeds are flying. I think just send them up already, to be fair. That team's a joke. Just so many quality players from all over the place. I've heard a lot of talk about Tanaka. I'll try and say the name. He's like a midfielder. He's quality for Leeds. Just great side. Even better at home as well. Sheffield, give them their flowers. They've been pretty decent as well lately. To be fair, scoring screamers with Josh Windass. This could be an interesting game. But saying that, like I said, with Leeds, too much quality. Leeds 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Right, that's it. Round it up. I'm off to uni. Enjoy the rest of your week. And hopefully, we get 3 points on Saturday. Or else, it's going to be a very depressing, uninspirational drive to Middlesbrough on Tuesday next week. But yeah, up the Albion, come on your baggies. And most importantly, to everyone out there, all of them clubs, we've got to keep the faith. Keep on.